Greetings, everyone. This is the Hipster Snek, and today I thought I'd do something a little out of the ordinary. I'm actually a huge fan of the Dynasty Warriors games and all of the various spin-offs and weird crossovers that they've had over the years. One of my personal favorites has always been the Empires games, where you get to make your own custom characters and engage in conquering China on your own terms. Which is exactly what we're going to be doing today. So, I went around with the Tomo Bros and got some ideas for exactly how we're going to do this. We're going to start back as far back as the game lets us, which is the Yellow Turban Rebellion, and we're going to rise from the bottom to the top on our own terms. Now, this is fine. I'm going to leave it on normal. Yeah, that's fine. And I'm going to use my custom character, which should go the other direction here. Yes, I'm in the game. And obviously, I'll be playing as me. Or what I would look like if I had arms and legs, at any rate. Starting off as a free officer has upsides and downsides. The biggest upside being that I'm pretty much free to go and do anything I feel like doing at any given time. I have to admit, they have swarthy mustaches. Now, I believe the rulers of this era are set, at least to start, but they can change. Because that's totally how I talk. And so the game begins. So, we have some options. We have 3 resources to balance, that being materials, money, and people. We have none of those, because we literally just started. We can get people, we can heal from our injuries, we can get materials and raise money and do quests. We'll be able to purchase stuff later, but obviously no money, no purchasing. So, this is going to be a bit of a slow rise to power. So I'm going to take a look at the quests that are around us. The first thing I want to see is any of my custom characters are nearby, which they do not appear to be at all. Let me see. We're gonna need some money and some early stuff. This is probably a good start. Helping people out will make them indebted to you, more friendly to you, and usually they'll remember that they owe you a favor at some point. Oh, it's been a while since I played. Okay. Thankfully, the wolves are pathetically weak, and it takes nothing to defeat them. So I'm just going to hurry and take these ones out in the south. Assuming I can remember which arrow I am on the map. Okay, back on track now. These guys have next to no HP. Running them over with your horse is generally fatal enough. Now, you don't have to wipe out every single one, technically. It's actually enough to just wipe out the leaders, the ones that have name tags. But if you want to take the time to do so, there's nothing stopping you from doing so. Alright, we're on our way north. Alright, having done that... Oh, right. Elevation differences. I'll cut around the long way, it's fine. So once I have a little bit of money on hand... Ah! Battlefield is evolving. I guess I should deal with her. As a human, she's going to be a bit smarter than the wolves, albeit not much stronger. Enemy HP is dictated by unit numbers, and since this is a very small-scale skirmish, there's really not many on the field. As a result, their HP is going to stay consistently low. We'll move up to bigger-scale skirmishes soon. And that's the mission. My ally was somewhere south of here, but let's not worry about it. Having made friends, we get a little bit of merit, which is XP basically, some resources, a special weapon, and our virtue rating has changed. Virtue is precisely what it sounds like. The more virtuous you are, the more they view you as a good and noble, just person. And the lower your virtue, the more of a scummy brigand you are. All that taking under advisement, it's probably good that we get some help. Can't conquer the world by ourselves, after all. This place isn't exactly rife with help. I'm only going to explain characters as they join me. I'm not going to attempt to explain them all up front. Let's see if we can find Ditaku or Cog. Ah, there's Ditaku. I will go join him in the south. Now, the thing to know is, eventually we're going to be fighting for these map tiles. Ah, yes. Vagabond units will rise and fall throughout the game. We'll be fighting for each of these map tiles at some point. It's important to remember that the better defended they are, generally the less resources you get from each of them. Need a little bit of money to even have audience with him, but let's see what happens. Are you willing to rise up and join me? That's my experience. Oh, I can't aid your cause. That is not what Ditaku would say. He would just be like, I'm awesome, and you know you need my help. Land can be obtained in the future. We need men. That is our first step to ruling this world. Alright, so we got two bros here. We're off to a good start. And now that we actually have a company, we're actually going to start bringing in a monthly income. I don't know exactly how that's handled for the sake of Vagabond units, which is what we technically are now. But the same basic rules continue to apply. In fact, Ditaku has work for me. I'm not good at infiltration missions, but since he asked me to do it anyway, I'm gonna give it a shot. It's good to stay in your friend's good graces anyway. Okay. This one has patrolling enemies, and we generally want to stay clear of them. Whoop, little pop in there. Okay, we're going to go around the back and try to find their wooden oxen, which are going to be the cargo holders that we need to find and take. If they spot us, we'll have to fight our way up, but it's still very much a winnable situation. Let them go. one. They're away from it will be our perfect opportunity. This one. Whoop. Almost ran straight into them. I don't know how efficient their pathfinding is, or how good they are at seeing you. To be quite honest, I think they're quite dumb. They do seem to have a hard time seeing you unless you're, like, in combat range. Alright. Excellent. Just snag that one, we are done. Now we need to find the exit. That is to our south, actually. Looks like everyone's good and distracted. Except one of my characters wants to have a go at me. Yep, that's actually a character from a novel I'm reading, Lorelei Delonzo. It's okay, she's not dead. I just knocked her out and made my escape. That is way too humble to be Ditaku. I should change his voice. But as you see, we're now better friends, and people are like, oh, he's not as virtuous as we thought. Maybe he's a little shady. No, I'm just very pragmatic. Since Ditaku acting as an intermediary, your friendship with Syrup increased. Looks like we have an invasion going on. Wonder if I can join that fight. Could be an interesting way of making myself useful to the local lord. Oh, I can. How fun. We're gonna throw in. Let's see what happens. You're going, Snek, aren't you trying to rule the world? Why are you helping someone else take over the world? Well, don't worry. I promise you, I have a method to my madness. Now, the biggest difference in full-scale attacks and the little skirmishes that we've been taking part in is field control. For those who don't know, every base has HP based on how many people are guarding it. My particular attack style is actually better for crowd sweeping. I actually struggle a little if there's a lot of really powerful bases all in the same area. For these little guys, this is where I shine brightest. Don't drink, kids. It's bad for you. Once you defeat enough enemies, or things like their towers, which they love a very great deal, the base will fall and be captured by the attackers. Anyone who has the title, like base captain, counts for more than just one person in terms of the base's HP. So now that base is ours, and we can move on. The color on the map shows our general sphere of influence, and entering the enemy field of influence means that we actually take a small debuff while we're in it. However, it's the only way to move our supply lines up, and thus efficiently conquer the field. Now, you see those red dots hovering around in the blue zone, right around the center of the map right now? That's ace units. They're oftentimes called officers or lieutenants. The verbiage changes depending by game, but I tend to call them aces, courtesy of my time spent in Dynasty Warriors Gundam. But that means they have name tags, and that means they're kind of a big deal. Meaning they're really the biggest threat on the field at any given time. Oof. That was careless of me. I forgot what button was block. That blue set of triangles above that girl's head are basically indication that my weapon had a superior advantage to hers. All weapons are either, let's see if I remember this, man, earth, or heaven affinity. And they form a rock, paper, scissors triad, where one is superior to the next. just so happened that my spear was superior to the weapon that girl was using. Alright, now that we've fortified this back line, I feel pretty confident that we can move up. Ah, looks like they're doing pretty good up there in the north, too. This is also a way to ingratiate yourself to the local lord if you'd rather serve rather than rule. Or if you're planning on something like, oh, I don't know, serving the local lord only as far as it serves you and then betraying him in his hour of need. Not that I'm totally thinking about that or anything. I'm just saying, you could. Hypothetically. Once enough enemies have been defeated or the enemy base is under enough pressure, the boss will come out. When he does, all bets are off. Defeating him is how we'll actually win the mission. Now, there are some other sub-missions, usually capturing the rest of the mini-bases. We've gotten most of them, so I'm satisfied with our efforts so far. Having defeated him, our invasion plan has worked out perfectly, and this land now belongs to the local lord. Yeah, I could have captured that one other base, and I've gotten a little more respect for it, but oh well. We still did really well. Ah, Li Hua is another one of my characters from the same novel as Lorelei, actually. So we're having another vagabond unit rise in the north. Interesting. As your area grows and expands, you'll ultimately need to deal with defensive battles as well. Wonder if I can actually help? I cannot. It's actually out of my sphere of influence. But that doesn't mean that we can't make things a little more interesting. Where is he? I'm gonna see if I can't do some wheeling and dealing. No. Usually, depending on what it is you can bring to the table, you can up your overall odds. Just bribing them is an option, but I'm going to try petitioning them and try to, appeal to their better judgment. So, now we have made our first political alliance with the kingdom in which we live. That will help fortify us in the event we get caught into a battle. Listen to me for a moment. Rescue the caravan. You know what? Certainly. I will help you, because I am a magnanimous Snek. Help the merchant. Now, there are upsides and a lot of freedom when you're a vagabond unit. But we'll probably want to start expanding our numbers soon, recruiting some more bodies into the army. Not only because your character does get tired eventually, that triangle is a warning that they have a weapon superiority over you, so it's a fair warning kind of thing. We'll want to get more equipment soon, if we reasonably can. Having said that, we have really nowhere to go but up, given our current circumstances. But I kind of have a plan. Now, Lu Jun, an actual historical figure. The red arrow points to where the nearest enemy is, regardless of location. But usually it's a good enough indication that, you know, you're close to something. And obviously you have your special attacks called your Luso. Which mine is I grab a guy and then hit his other guys with the guy. Okay, where's the next... Ah, it's down there. That's interesting. Also, the horse AI in this game is kind of stupid. I cannot tell you how many times I've had to like sit there and just keep whistling for the dumb thing. And it's like, nope, you are walking like a hair too fast, so I'm just gonna like hang back and not help you. There are other things you can mount, but I kind of feel like I have Stockholm Syndrome towards this stupid horse. Dean is actually one of my light warriors. Tapu and I did a full playthrough of the Game Boy Advance remake of Final Fantasy I. Dean was our black belt, rather. Ah, a whole bunch of enemies just poured in. I don't know what these weapon merchants did to make these guys so mad, but they sure did. If you're lucky, that's what happens. Your horse just warps to you and you're fine. If you're less fortunate, you don't get that. When in doubt, Muso. It makes you completely invincible and gives you an opportunity to change the strategies. Being at a disadvantage does not mean you can't beat them. It just means you'll be doing a little bit less damage. If you're in a position to do damage, you might as well do it. And those guys are just going to stand there awkwardly now, like, oh, well, I guess we lost, huh? Alright. So now we have a little bit of time. Let's see if we can't find a little more help. Ah, excellent. Clockwork is here. Clockwork, you're a jerk. I'll be back. Like someone is making some plans over there. Ah, now we can participate in a defensive battle. As you saw, the ability to raise banner was blacked out. That's because a major invasion can only happen one at a time. So, no invading while someone else is invading and adding to the chaos. As cool as that would be, you probably wouldn't want a three-way fight in this game. It would probably get overwhelming way too fast. Jeez. I hate fighting against the Suna family. Every time I play this game, they're always the biggest pain. Oop, weapon clash. You're invincible for its duration, but you have to be careful, because as soon as you're out of it, you're vulnerable again. And the game knows it. I've had them take advantage of that several times. The Soon family are usually one of the most annoying enemies to fight, which is really interesting, because historically, they weren't that big a deal. I mean, they were a big deal, let's be clear, but like, they ended up not becoming really involved in the last legs of the war. Okay. You might think that the best strategy is to always be hyper-aggressive and to stay on them. That doesn't always work. You have to be careful, because if you spread yourself too thin, then you won't have anyone defending. So if they get a bunch of aces on you all at once, which is very possible, you may not have a backup plan. The thing that can happen is aces aren't defeated usually the first time. They'll have a chance to fall back and come again. Well, if they do, if they come all at the same time, then you just have like this wall of aces who are just like demolishing your bases. I always get confused trying to get into that. You know what, that's fine. It's fine. Now let's go someplace else. It's like the Lone Ranger is in this fight. Let's take this base from them and try to lure their guys out. Will you continue the battle and attempt to capture the enemy? Yes! We will capture their main team and drive a bigger wedge into their approaching force. It's weird that I would be the one making that judgment call, but, you know, gameplay balance. Really, it would be whoever the highest ranking officer is, which is not me. I'm a vagabond still. Oh, you again. You had so much fun getting your butt kicked the first time, you just had to go again. He's actually emperor of his particular land. As I recall, the Sun family actually had the royal seal from when the actual emperor fell. Which was a pretty good argument at the time for why they would have right to succession. Sorry guys, you're not a unit that I made, so I don't particularly care all that bad about your well-being. Just being honest. I'm a mercenary at this point. You gotta get yours, I gotta get mine. Spear spin is such a good move. Okay, you know what? I'll divert course to help these guys a little bit. It's like some of our aces are moving into that base I couldn't get into before, so I'll take that. Ooh, we're gonna see a large-scale stratagem. See that timer that's just appeared in the top right corner? If that gets to 0 without any of the fail conditions being met, we will get to do something really big. I believe they said it was archery, which means we basically just rain arrows down on them. It's gonna be glorious. The thing you always have to be careful of is sometimes they have archery towers, and those things are not only super hard to break, they count for 100 men. I have found that there's a couple things that can break them very easily, but I don't have any of them yet. Once we clear these guys out, we can just move over. Alright, 60 seconds till the stratagem executes. I should be able to be safe. Hi guys! Looks like I got here just in time for them to lose the base. I shouldn't let him get away, this guy's dangerous. Han Dong was one of the men most loyal to Sun Jian. And he can be incredibly annoying. At this point, he wouldn't have been that old, but by the time the fighting got really underway, he was, like, well past his prime, but still fighting. Yeah, you're welcome, whatever. Let's not make a big deal out of this. A little bit of a shortcut, thanks to higher ground. It begins! Their health is in this. Yep, you already see the difference now. They have about 50% HP. I'll throw them into disarray, greatly cut down their health, and give us an easy opportunity for me to be the spearhead here. Ah, there's one of those spot turrets I was talking about. I hate these things. Thankfully, the stratagems will make this thing much more manageable. I want to break it because that's an automatic 100 points off the base. That and the stratagem makes it much more realistic. And because this is a defensive battle, I don't need to beat their boss, I just need to capture the main camp, and that's a win. Pish posh. Yeah, this one I missed just because of time. I think it was that one that I had trouble getting into. But life goes on. Ah, this guy just recruits everybody he can. Which actually means that the Lone Ranger now works for him, which is kind of good incentive for me to actually get in. Alright, we're gonna play the long game here. Thank you for coming. Please hold nothing back using your abilities in our service. I'm going to betray you when you least expect it. It'll be funny. For me, not for you. Nice. Getting a lot of different titles. Now, right now, I'm just an enlisted man, so I get no real authority in the court. So his plan is to invade towards the west. Now, that orange area was ruled by Meng Huo, who was a tribal regional leader of the time. But as I said, I'm an enlisted man, I don't get to say anything about it, but I can set some goals for myself. Participate in an invasion, we're definitely going to do that, so that's an easy one. We'll take on a quest, and we'll do a raid. We haven't actually shown a raid yet, that should be interesting. So, having done that, and we have now access to the kingdom coffers, and not just my own. Clockwork, get your lazy butt in here. I swear I'm going to kill you. Alright. Looks like he was serious about invading. But I'm going to join because I promised myself I would. Really? We're going in half-cocked? Fine, whatever. I can still win, it's not really an issue. In fact, if anything in this game, I'm used to fighting uphill battles where the numbers are against me. Really, I just need to go ahead and buy a new weapon. This little spear isn't going to last me for too long once enemies start building up their forces in earnest. Whoa! Yeah, Fire Strike and Ice Strike can be really annoying if you don't watch out for them. Thankfully, that last step of my combo flips people who are guarding, so that's actually a good way of dealing with them. The only downside is it has a bit of a wind-up, so if they get an easy shot in, it could be bad for me. Yep, no fighting style is without its flaws. Sweeping dudes with a spear in a very unrealistic manner definitely has some drawbacks. As you see, they have one of those turrets here, but you don't need to topple it. It'll fall automatically once the base falls. Having done that, this place should fall without much resistance. Yep, enemies will comment on your fighting style, particularly if you rack up large amounts of KOs. Usually getting more and more distressed when you go from 500 to 1,000 to 1,500 and so on. Come on, horse, sometime today. Alright, let's go save our friends. Now that we're technically all fighting for the same team in earnest. That is a lot of dudes. No wonder you were having such trouble here. Plus, they put this thing right in the center. Is that ours? If it is, that's brilliant placement. If it isn't, that's really annoying. I think it is. I couldn't have heard it. Horse. I swear to God, you're going to the glue factory right alongside Clockwork. I don't know why I'm sitting Clockwork in the glue factory. It's super annoying. Taku's there, and Taku's like, yeah, let's do this. And Clockwork's like, yeah, I don't feel like it. Stop that little officer. Okay, this area is now ours. So we got some officers coming. Oh, hi! Wasn't expecting the big guy to be coming after me. Ah, the big guy and his wife. Ah, he's not the commander of this battle. I thought he would. I thought he would be, but what you saw there is a special trick you can pull off. In the event that your enemy has a weapon advantage against you, and you swap to a weapon that has advantage over theirs, every now and then you can pull off of that little trick where you get a small power-up, and you get to throw them back. Alright, that guy was commander. Depending on how a unit has its prefix set up, sometimes, even though there's like the actual emperor in this case, was Meng Huo, he was not the commander of that particular battle. It was actually this guy, Zhen Huan. Wow, and we recruited him. We're just recruiting everybody because why not? We just took your land. Join us. Yeah, okay. Wish Clockwork was that cooperative. Edict of the Emperor, you're not likely to refuse it. Let us review its contents anyway. Made to put down the Yellow Turban Rebellion and threatening the land. He, Jin, has begun organizing an army in response. This is one of the big historical battles, and we can opt to participate, of course. And I did say we'd do a raid, so let's do a raid. Thankfully, I get to pick who comes with me. So obviously I'm taking Dutaku and a ranger with me. Now, we just want basically maximum troop strength across the board. Which, yeah, that should be pretty much perfect. This will not take the land when we win. It will, however, damage it and make it easier to invade in the future. Now, right now, you might notice my commands there on the left-hand side are a little bit different. I'm considered the commanding officer of this raid, and therefore what I say goes. So if I say, all forces forward, they will treat it as if I was the Emperor for the sake of this fight. The raid is my idea, but it also means that if anything goes awry, the Emperor gets to blame it all on me. So, let's make sure we win. Come, horse. Another guy trying to be sneaky over here. I see you. Indomitable indeed. Forward, horse. This is one of the more confusing maps when you first get to it, but you'll figure it out. I don't see anyone. Oh, there you are. Raids are also a good way of defeating and capturing their different officers. If you make them join your forces, or execute them, or however you deal with them, it's one less person that army can rely upon. Doing that obviously forces things more in your favor. And speaking of forcing things in my favor, what Itaku said. I'm not really good at comboing with this sword, can you tell? Okay, horse. That should thin out a lot of their aces. Next order of business is to start capturing some of these bases. Looks like one of their guys is back in the fight. That is way too feminine to be a ranger. I'll change it later. Huh, Taku decided to help me out. Love the guitar work in these games. Just, chef's kiss. Perfect. That's one pompous enemy. See, this guy gets it. Oop. Got a meeting of officers over here. Definitely have to do something about this. Might be dangerous if they end up having different weapon alignments. Chop down. Stupid horse. I blame you for that face plant. Ah, good timing, Itaku. I don't like it when you block a whole lot. Let's take care of that. There we go. Out of the way. Wow, Itaku's been distracting him this whole time. Alright. No reason not to charge straight in at this point. I mean, I could take those other ones, but I kind of feel like we have this well in hand, and all their officers are defeated anyway. Where is everybody? stupid tower. You might be going, Snek, what are you doing? Well, with my weapon of choice, this is about the fastest way I can break these things. Funny enough, if you get a pet tiger, like, they can destroy them automatically. But, yeah, this is really, like, the least elegant thing possible, riding with my face and rubbing into it. But it counts for 100, so it's worth doing. Even if it is nowhere near as fun as just plowing 100 dudes underfoot. There we go. Oh no, they broke our tower. Now we have to submit. That's all the difference in the world. Excellent. Not sure how that increases my virtue, but whatever. Ah, it's time. I have no need for anybody that would turn their backs to the enemy and flee from a fight, unless you're prepared to die every time you take to the field. The very famous battle. This was the first time many of these men would end up meeting, including Liu Bei, who we just passed, Cao Cao, and Sun Jian. I'm going to start here on the east side and work my way up. Hey, Mingguo, no hard feelings about sacking your son's land. We cool? I guess not just sacking his son's land. We conquered that, but then we raided his land. Oh, there's gonna do. I was like, where are you hiding, dude? Alright. You guys make yellow look bad. Now that is the fundamental difference here. I make yellow look snazzy. That guy just ran for it. I'm not letting him get away. People who run away annoy me. It's like, have the tiniest bit of self-respect and just stand and fight. You know? Whoops, wrong way. That's a way to make yourself popular. Just beat up random civilians who have nothing to do with this. I think I actually need to go around to pull this off. I'm gonna go aid those peasants first. Why? Because it's the right thing to do, and I'm kind of a soft touch for that sort of thing. Even if I was playing an evil person, it's like, why? What benefit does it grant us to allow the Yellow Turbans to bully these people? Also, we got an officer hiding down here. And I don't care for that much. There. Now soon Jian can be more useful to us. On the battlefield, officers are generally your highest priority, and bases your second highest. You really don't need to worry about the randos that are just kind of scurried about and have no name tag. Not unless there's like a big number of them actually causing a problem. I'm here anyway, I might as well do this. I don't like enemies getting the idea that they can try to sneak up from behind in little remote outcroppings like this. See, this is way more satisfying than just breaking those archery towers. I mean, that drop was a little awkward, but we made it, and that's all that matters. Slap a fool with another fool! How you like that? Hey, don't run. Literally just got done saying I hate runners. Good. We're getting good momentum behind us now. Oh no, Dong Zhuo is in trouble. Whatever shall we do? Dong Zhuo ended up going down in history as a bit of a villain in his own right. After the Yellow Turban Rebellion, he became incredibly arrogant and ended up having lavish parties while his people starved. As I recall, there was a similar uprising that ended up executing him fairly early on in the war's duration. That wasn't a cut to the center, but I don't think it's even necessary anymore. That's fine, it's whatever. The glory of our leader, who is not me. Yet. The game's trying to catch up with how many bodies I have laid out. Oh no, Dong Zhuo Tsukiga. Alright. Having wiped those guys out, we can move on straight to the north. Okay, I can't see anything. Please turn. There we go. Sorry, Dong Shuo, I'm showing the world precisely what the guy with a stick can do over here. Weird, I don't seem to be running from you, pal. It's not even a base. Zheng Jiao. Yes, a crazed cult leader who believed that he could hear the voices of heaven, or so he claimed at least. Now, a new mechanic I can show off. Rage mode. Oh, I didn't realize he was that close. I thought he was way back there. I was gonna, like, plow through all these guys. Rage mode basically makes you invincible and super powerful for a short time, until the timer runs out, and it makes your Muso one time turn into a super version of itself. Liu Bei got his butt kicked. Sadly, we're too far away to make any land claims, so these guys get all the profit from our hard efforts. Life's not fair sometimes. Yeah, I didn't get everything, but I got most everything. Listen to what I have to say. I've been promoted to officer. Oh yeah, I'll take that. Look forward to continued loyal service. Yeah, yes. Loyal, until it, no longer suits me. So, I have moved up in the world. I am now a ranking officer. So, that's pretty cool. This is the plan forces we'll be using. Good, he at least has some strategic competence. Something like this. At this point, we need to start being smart. Clockwork. Finally! The monitor you have summoned me, I shall do my best to bring favorable wind to your cause. Alright, I don't have to kill you now. So, there is one mechanic that we do need to touch on real quick, and that is this. See how my stats are currently in red? That's because my character is tired. I've been fighting pretty much non-stop, and I'm paying for it in the terms of stat reductions. After a certain level, this really stops mattering, but this early in the game, it's a real problem. At any rate, I'm gonna update some items if I have any to give. Oh, I actually do. Go me. And we're gonna rest up a little bit before we resume our takeover of China, which might involve assassinating our current leader. Who knows? Join us next time in Snek Conquers China. See you then.